Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today the Coolerator is crammed with TV dinners and ginger ale as Barles, playing as the Cumans in red, prepares to take on Sitaux, playing as the Mayans in blue. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate and closed off surroundings and try to go up to Feudal, most likely Castle, as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Cumans are a civilization incredibly fast, built for speed. To start with, all of their mounted units become progressively faster as the game goes on, moving up to 15% faster in Imperial. And some of these mounted units, their Scout Cav, their Step Lancers, their Cav Archers, can be upgraded to train in half the time. Now, if you want to put fast early game pressure on your opponent, you can actually build a Siege Workshop in Feudal Age, although remember, you are limited to building only rams. Now, if you prefer to pressure your opponent with ranged or mounted units instead of siege earlier on, Cuman archery ranges and stables both only cost 100 wood, so you can build more of them earlier on, losing a bit of control of this deer. Maybe, maybe not. Let's take a look. The crowd is silent. A hush falls over the viewers. What will happen with this red Barlesian deer? It gets herded beautifully at the end. Now, if instead of putting on early game pressure, you want to build a fast, booming economy, the Cumans can also build a second town center in the Feudal Age, although remember that this does take a lot of time and resources and pulls a good amount of villagers off the production line. Now, to protect your booming economy, the Cumans, much like the Goths, do not get stone walls, which means in an enclosed off map like this, never, ever, ever delete any walls, even the ones to the back. So I am happy to see that Barles is doing exactly that, because these are not replaceable. Now, unlike the Goths, who also don't have stone walls, the Cumans, at least their palisade walls, do have 33% more HP. Now, once you've established your base, you've got your first castle up, you can begin training the first unique unit of the Cumans, the Kipjack. This is a fast mounted archer unit that fires multiple arrows, although only the first arrow really does full damage. Now, opposing the Cumans, we've got the Mayans in blue. The Mayans in blue. Nope, we've got the Mayans in blue, actually, played by Sitaux here, a civilization that very much pushes its players towards archer units. Mayan skirmishers can be upgraded to throw a second weaker projectile. Their foot archers, except for skirmishers, can do become progressively cheaper as the game goes on, all the way up to 30% cheaper in Imperial, which helps them mass their unique unit, the Plumed Archer. This is the fastest. Oh, is he going to block with a villager? No, nice pathing there. The Plumed Archer is the fastest foot archer in the game that comes with a small attack bonus against infantry. Now, to support your range units against the enemy, Mayan walls are actually 50% cheaper, so buy one, get one free in a sense, so you can stay safe behind a lot of these, and your Eagle Warriors can be upgraded to get a massive boost to their HP. Now, to help produce as large an army as possible, Mayan resources do last 15% longer, and they start the game with an extra villager, but 50 less food, which can be helpful to help you reach Feudal Age faster, which in a game like this, on an enclosed map, can actually be quite good. We'll walk through my opinion of a closed map in just a second. Let's take a look at the bases, the starting positions of the players, both of them sitting at roughly the same villagers, actually identical villagers, and it is our Cuman who is heading up to Feudal first. Now, usually on a map, an open map like Arabia, we take a look at the wood lines, we take a look at where the primary sources of resources are, but because this is enclosed, because it's behind a wall and safe, at least for the immediate future, unless our Cuman, remember in Feudal Age, can build battering rams and put some pressure on our Mayan, although we've got battering rams in an aggressive civ against the 50% cheaper walls of the more defensive civ here. But in any event, unlike an open map where we care about the exact location of these primary secondary resources, on an enclosed map, we want to see things like this. Oh no, resources that are very close to the wall off, where archer units, range units of any kind, can cause a bit of a problem for mining later on in the game, or even earlier on in the game. And if you're not familiar with Arena, I am going to zoom out. Everyone starts with a bit of a base, a walled off base. That's why it's known as a closed map. Now, generally, the players do delete their backwards stone walls and gates. However, like I said, our Cuman keeping the one to the right, the one to the left, I guess there's no point in keeping that one, right? Look at this little nook that it was guarding. In any event, his stone is exposed. But one cool feature of this map, 5 relics scattered throughout the map. As well, outside of your gates, outside of your stone wall immediate vicinity. Oh, Eagle bites the dust. You generally have 1 extra pile of gold and 1 extra pile of stone. Interesting that the stone here is right next to each other, whereas for our Mayan, the gold is in this Tetris piece all the way to the right, and the stone is in this Tetris piece all the way to the left, whereas the forward-facing part of his base completely open and exposed. Our Cuman, ooh, I don't know what to think about this. Wood lines to the front. This could be good for defense. It can also be good for offense if our Mayan decides to use them offensively. I also don't like any kind of forests as part of a wall up, because forests, unlike gold, unlike stone, can be destroyed. So I am not too sure how to feel about this. We'll keep an eye out, but there we go. Making use of that Cuman benefit. 6 villagers pulled off the production line. So for just a brief few moments in time, our Mayan was ahead 24 productive villagers to 18. Or what am I saying? 18, 16. So you can see how, number one, it comes with an immediate cost, some short-term pain for long-term, medium-term gain. Now, why in the beginning of the game did I say the players generally rush up to feudal and likely castle as fast as possible? On an enclosed map like this, generally a game follows 3 stages. The first stage, the players get their butts up to castle age, which, take a look at the resources in feudal. Our Mayan basically ready. Once this market and blacksmith finish up, should be good to go to head up to castle. Our Cuman, having spent a good amount of resources and time, nowhere close. But what happens? The first stage, players rush up to castle. The second stage, monks come out, and the players fight over these relics. All 5 of them out on the map with scouts, with monks, with spearmen, with anything and everything they can muster under the sun. And then once all 5 relics are gathered, Stage 3 begins, which is my favorite part, where the players build massive armies. One or both players explodes onto the map, and we get to see big old battles between the players. Our Cuman is going to be in, maybe going to be in for a bit of a surprise once our Mayan in a minute and a half hits castle age. But will he be? Barles must know the general way this game goes. By the way, take a look at the minimap, has seen all 5 relics. Our Mayan, only 2, 1 and 2. Oh, missing the 1. Oh, how sour is that? Literally 1 tile over to his vision. That is incredibly sour. Also missing the 2 here to the north. No doubt, because his Eagle Scout got demolished by this 1 scout cav, but now he's out on the map again. Now, this is an interesting situation we find ourselves in, because yes, our Mayan in 20 seconds will be in castle age, but does not actually have vision of more than 2 relics. Although now he will. I think red is pulling him into this one. There we go. So now he finally does see this 3rd relic. And now what will Barles do? Take a look at the villager lead of our Cuman with that extra town center. So yes, at the end of this production cycle, he will have 46 villagers to the 29. He'll be 17 villagers ahead at the 15-minute mark of the game. That's pretty damn bonkers. That is pretty damn bonkers, if you ask me. And this Eagle is heading north. We'll see if he discovers this relic due north. No, he pivots south at the last moment. Oh, no. So does C2. I'm assuming this is a... oh, no, never mind. The monastery is already built. Monk is coming out. Will our Cuman contest this? Yes, he will. Take a look. So I think our Cuman strategy at the moment is, you know what? Yes, LOL, get your butt up to castle as fast as possible. I'll just be here with my scout cav running circles around your slower moving units. Sure, eagles are pretty quick for infantry, but not for cavalry. They do not beat the speed. And by the way, these guys dodge around everything. They are so maneuverable and so versatile. One thing people always underestimate is just how much deking you can do with a scout cav. More out on the field. Cocaine Bear guarding the northern frontiers of this map. Market going up for our Cuman, who is now also starting to bank a good amount of resources, suggesting that he wants to also get his butt up to castle. But Barles here throwing a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a lemon wedge into our seltzer here. Oh, he's going to lose another. Look at this. Even though they're protected by scouts, how quick and, oh my God, maneuverable these units are. It's just fantastic. 200 gold down the shitter for our Mayans, our Mayan rather, who is now getting a third town center himself. A second one having been built in the back towards the primary resource. But as I said, Barles throwing a bit of a twist into the overall general meta of this game. An enclosed map, like I said. He says, you know, Isaac, I heard about your theory of the 3 stages of an enclosed map. I'm going to kind of take my time. Now he's heading up to Castle Age off the back of 60 villagers. 60 villagers to the 43 of his opponent, who is housed at 50. Supply smartly putting down multiple houses, it looks like. But my goodness, we'll see which strategy here ultimately wins the day. Bloodlines for our Cuman means that these guys are going to be tankier. Oh no, they catch a third monk. And they're going to get the 4th for sure. Will they? No, okay. Oh my God. So much monk sniping. Barles here showing us a fairly cool little strategy here, saying, you know what, I know that building this town center puts me behind initially, but it's worth the risk. And here we go, they deke around the entire army yet again. And another monk. Oh my God, 400 gold. Wow, what an incredible use. Oh my God, he's gonna get another one. Oh my goodness. 5 monks in the blink of an eye. 3 swipes. Take a look at their attack bonus. 6 against monks. And now our Cuman is in Castle Age, which means all of his cavalry is now 10% faster. Take a look. 1.71 movement speed. Oh my goodness. What are you supposed to do against that as the Mayan? You literally have to surround this monk with a box of 8 spearmen in order to save him. Maybe 6, 3 to the front, 3 to the back. I don't think 4 will even save him. 2 definitely hasn't worked. 4 definitely won't work again. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this insanity. 1 more attack, 1 more poke, and he's coming in from the left. And it's dead. The monk is dead. And the one to the scout deked around. 6 monks gone. A third town center being built in a forward position. What an incredibly annoying use of monks of scout cav. Although now they are light cavalry. That +6 has become a +10, which means these monks are even more at risk. These are not Aztec monks that gain 5 HP per technology research. And look at Barles. Look at the insane level of a micro here, keeping an eye out on this relic, making sure he sees the monk moving out. Will he move to intercept? Look at this. He's got step lancers out and now he's taking the relics. Fantastic game so far. I mean, look, is it a high kill count game at the moment at the 23-minute mark of the game with 11 total kills? No, it is not. 0 villager kills, as is expected on an enclosed map. A 4th town center going up for our Mayan as well. But does it matter? No, it does not. How much action has occurred here over these relics? That's why I said, rather, I always like to say, you know, I sometimes make it sound like, oh, it's a standard 3-part meta and there's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. That is in no way an implication that it is boring or it is uneventful, because Barles here showing us that, yes, even though I rushed my butt up to Castle Age and got there first and got my monks out first, rather Citeaux telling us that, oh God, no, oh my God. Oh my God, the Barles is making him pay for these relics. And I've asked before, does collecting relics in an enclosed map like this, unless you get all 5, if you can't get all 5, is it really worth it? What is this, 700 gold wasted on these monks already? 7, maybe 8. No, I think 7. I think 2 of these 9 kills are Eagles, which, by the way, also come with an attack bonus against monks +8. So they are pretty damn good at killing monks as well. Sitaux finally returning the favor, and by the way, getting vision of this castle. Let me just click any random blue building. Does get vision of the castle out in the middle of the map. And it will now be 3 relics to 2, assuming this Cuman monk can make it back home, can make it back to the homestead with this giant... It must be lighter than air. There's no way a human being can carry something that big and stand upright, unless this monk has the strongest back muscles that I have ever seen. The Schwarzenegger monk. If you or I tried to lift something that was the size of our body, you think we could just hold it out like that with 2 hands? I don't think so. And now he's going to deposit it, and 3 relics to 2, blue in favor of red. Stage 2 of the game is over. Stage 3 has just begun. 4 Kipchaks and Imperial for our Cuman, but our Mayan heading there first. Again, Sitaux is housed momentarily. And despite the fact that he was down 50% of villagers, now he is evened up. Now he's housed again. Momentarily evened up. Villager count, army supplies identical. It looks like our Mayan is going infantry. I hope we get to see Eagles. El Dorado Eagles, by the way. You know, the Mesoamerican civs with the Eagles, generally their attributes, their additional features fall into 3 categories. Good converts on the pike, by the way. Will he get the monk? Kipchak's not the strongest unit. Take a look at their base attack. 4. Ugh. But generally, the Aztec Eagles get that Garland War boost to their attack of a +4. The Incan Eagles get a good shot by the Mangonel. They get fabric shields, which adds armor to their Eagles, makes them tankier against things like castle fire and ranged units. But my favorite, for no particular reason at all, are the El Dorado Mayan Eagles that get 40 extra HP. So an elite Eagle Warrior for the Mayans has 100 HP, and it certainly does look like we're heading that way. Eagle Warrior upgrade, he is in Imperial. Let's see it, and let's go. Our Cuman putting on a clinic of aggression here. Forward castle houses as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see, okay, I was gonna say stables, but okay, siege workshops, just as good, just as fun. And look at this, ringing the entire south and west of the map with outposts. These are not Ethiopian outposts like we saw, when was it, yesterday or the day before, with extra line of sight, but they are still some pretty damn good outposts. Look at that. He is going to ring his opponent's base entirely. And let's see what our opponent is planning on doing here. Off the back of 4 town centers, 119 villagers, Sitaux is building trebs and elite Eagle Warrior and iron casting. How many Eagles does he have at the moment? Going up to 10 off of how many barracks? 8 barracks is a good amount of barracks. Treb being built here as well. Counter Treb. Our Cuman has exactly 650 stone. Probably hates the fact that he has to spend it repairing this castle and not dropping another doubt castle in the front of his opponent's base. Delete this house, and path your units. Our Cuman has to be careful here. Elite Eagle Warriors fully upgraded. Take a look at their pierce armor of 8 against a unit that attacks on a 6. And remember, the Kipchak, the additional arrows do not do the same amount of damage. All they do is 3 pierce, which means that every one of these arrows, I think the base has a total of 3, right? The 1 full and then the 2 weaker ones. So basically 3 damage, I think, if I'm not mistaken, to this Eagle Warrior, which has 60 HP. So 20 Kipchaks. Oh, sorry, no, not 20 Kipchaks. What am I talking about? No. 20 Kipchaks needed to one-shot an elite Eagle Warrior. Castle falls. Our Mayan has broken the very, very soft contain and is now cocky enough to build a town center out front. Our Cuman has speed, and by the way, take a look at this map on Arena. Generally a very flat piece of land, so and lots of open space. which I think inures to the benefit of the Cumans here, despite the fact that there's a shit-talky mushroom ton of Eagle Warriors streaming forward, and there's Garland El Dorado, rather. So take a look at their HP. We'll highlight one of them at the bottom of your screen. 60 HP in 20 seconds will be 100. Now, don't ask me why that's my favorite. I have no idea. The Aztec one is pretty cool with the extra attack. The Incas with the extra armor makes them tankier, but I think 40 HP is pretty damn cool. Take a look at that, 100 HP on an Eagle Warrior. Just needs to get Blast Furnace, the last attack upgrade, and will be safe and will be fully optimized. But our Cuman says, Isaac says, I'm all about speed, build stables and archery ranges, so I'm going to go two-handed swordsman. Although he can upgrade them to champion. Okay, there they are, champions. Now, why is he doing champions? Take a look at the attack bonus against Eagles. 8 attack bonus against Eagle Warriors. Now, what our Mayan can do is tech switch now into plumed archers, which come with a +1 attack against infantry. Will, I believe, become +2 if they go elite. But no upgrades. He spent so much money upgrading his eagles that he does not have the resources needed now to start fully upgrading his plumes. So he needs to stay very careful here within the castle fire. What incredible pendulum game here. Our Cuman going Kipchaks, our Mayan going eagles to counter, our Cuman going champions to counter the counter, and then our Mayan going plume to counter the counter of the counter. You know, I know, says Cito, and builds the ultimate counter unit here. And I say ultimate, I mean, I'm saying that word in the sense of the last counter unit. Although the Kipchaks could potentially counter the plumed archers. Plumed archers don't exactly have the greatest armor. 0, upgrades, but 1 only. Which means that 7 minus 1 is 6, and then +2, 10 damage per volley from a Kipchak means you only need 5 Kipchaks to one-shot a plumed archer. Because remember, the first arrow will do 6 damage, and the next 2 will do 2 and 2. Siege Workshop goes down. All of that is, of course, hypothetical. Has Blue seen any of this? No, he has not. He's seen the house. Okay. Very important for him to defend the stone. This is an extra castle and a half worth of stone. So it makes sense to build a castle to defend it. Eagle streaming south. We'll see if they explore the edge of the wood line here and see the infrastructure. Both players. Cocaine Bear activated. By the way, I finally did see Cocaine Bear. What an absolute ridiculous movie. As one expects. But still, an absolutely ridiculous movie. Bear dies. Where are all the eagles? He must see this now, yeah, but it's outside the range of his castle. Eagles firmly in the front here. And now there are a lot of plumed archers should be able to nullify these eagles, and now they're elite, so take a look at their bonus now. If I can actually click on one, my goodness, infantry 2. So 8 attack against the champion with 5 armor means 3 + 2, 5 damage only. But 70 HP on them. Oh, here we go. The counter to the ultimate counter, the Onager, repaired by the villagers. Thumbring, Bracer. Our Mayan is going to have basically every single upgrade, blacksmith upgrade under the sun here, it looks like. Although, okay, now finally getting padded armor for his archers. Send something here. Send 1 unit to get rid of this. I love these. Take a look at Red's map vision, by the way. Even though he's the one who was pushed into, he took the time and the wherewithal, and had the wherewithal, to place all these spotting outposts. So he sees everything. Not that Blue doesn't. But Blue doesn't see the corners of his opponent's base like Red does. Red sees whatever is streaming. He sees the Eagle Warrior. He knows that his opponent is still going Eagles, which means he should continue building champions. Agreeing with me that these wood lines are more of a liability than an asset, decides to onager them a bit. And let's see how this goes. mean, I think the Mayan, ignoring the onagers, has the better army, but you can't. How do you ignore the onagers here? What is attacking this? Oh, the Trebs are attacking it. You see what Blue tried to do there with one eagle? He tried to draw onager fire into these. Oh, disgusting. He tried to draw onager fire into only one of those eagle warriors. But Barles did not fall for the bait, instead waited patiently and then got how many eagles? Yuckity yuck. Two champions going to be running amok. Not that they're really necessary. This is a very oversaturated gold mine, but I love the use of two different camps. One on the top, one on the bottom. Has to be so careful. Again, these are the fastest foot archers in the game. But 4 onagers. Okay, losing only one. Oh, okay, never mind. What an incredible amount of micro here out of both players. Blue trying to separate his units as best he can so he doesn't take the worst onager shots in his life. Red trying to take the best onager shots of his life. Oh, split them at the last moment, but doesn't ultimately does connect with the group to the north. Champions. 11 kills on these two units. Oh, 12. Is this going to come down to just Treb quantity at the end of the day? Because Blue is starting to run out of gold. And the gold mine he secured up here is gone. The gold over here is no longer mineable. Blue's in a spot of bother, as they would say, across the pond. His castle falls. His Treb's exposed. 13 champions. Mayan plumed archers, get your asses back here. Okay, looks like Barles deciding to sacrifice these champions, but maybe that was all just a ploy to get the plumed to go into the range, or rather to get into the range of this onager. Only 8 range against 8 range. 2 random palisades, and now we're doing stables. Okay. Something needs to be secured here. The champions are dead. Oh, come on. Look at this. Look at this traffic jam of villagers. This is like trying to get to the beach in Los Angeles on a Wednesday afternoon. Good luck. You are going to be sitting your butt in traffic. There might be 5 or 6 lanes on the highway, but that doesn't mean they're not clogged up. Man, that was not a fun drive from West Hollywood to Santa Monica. Although definitely worth it. My goodness, the beaches in Santa Monica, so gorgeous. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Now it becomes a game of paying attention. Now it becomes a game of who can distract the other, who can out micro the other. And it looks like Red is out. No. But the problem is Red can't really engage into this army, right? Red, what he can do is just slowly push and slowly encroach. But he just can't engage because whenever he moves forward with these champions, the plumes just have their way with them. Okay, onagering his own villager there. Light cab. A good switch here for our Cuman. 1.74 movement speed. Oh my god. Cuman speed is not something to be taken for granted here. Both players running very dangerously low on resources. Our Mayan? What is he doing? Throwing away eagles? Oh, that was unfortunate. Didn't get a single onager. This one on his last leg. 6 HP left. Trash resources for everyone but champions are out. Okay, beautiful. Moving his battalion of plumed archers. 55 kills. He has been babysitting these guys quite well. All he has to do now is make sure that the push to the front doesn't destroy. This might seem, 46 pike might seem like a good amount of pike, but Barles has shown that his attack ground skills are such that that means nothing. Oh god, these are now hussars. Okay. Our Mayan shoring up his resources against Cuman siege that can demolish, shoring up his defenses. I think I said resources accidentally. Well, we'll get their first villager or hussar. Villager or hussar. Oh, he abandons the attempt. Oh, he's gonna trap the hussars inside the base. Okay. These are 18 dead hussars. Let's see. The only question now is how much damage can they do? And blue secures the gold pile, although again, clogged up. I was going to make a disgusting analogy of a toilet, but no, I'm not going to do that. This is a highbrow channel. Oh, hussars dying. Horses neighing. But the plumes are now exposed. These hussars have 6 pierce armor against a unit that does 9 damage only, with no bonuses whatsoever against hussars. Which means they need 32 to one-shot the plumes, which means this happens. Oh, onager shots. My goodness. Onagers and hussars. Oh my. But the castle is still up, at least for the moment. And now the pike are free to move forward. Oh, forget the structures. I think blue just needs to charge into this. He's got double the army supply. You know you're going to lose a whole bunch of your units. Oh, these are going to be halberdiers. Unless red trebs down this barracks. Can he reach it with these trebs? It looks like with only 2 of them, since only they turned around. And now they're halberdiers. Let's see. Might want to split this up into 3 or 4 groups. Does exactly that. And in we go. This has the aroma of a final charge, doesn't it? The only good thing that blue has going for him is that these are not siege onagers. Oh my god. Barles saw the game that we had about a week ago with Hera and his incredible anti-Dravidian Sicilian siege play and says, hold my beer. 60 kills, 7 friendly fire, about 10% is not bad at all. And take a look at the mini map. Is there any blue besides a lumber camp left anywhere here? I mean, blue had the wherewithal earlier to build this castle in the back, suspecting that he was going to come under crazy amounts of aggression, and he was right. He still has the army supply lead, but now there's 8 frickin' onagers here, and he's going to lose control of the relics any second. And our Cuman creating a bit of a nook here for his trebs, maybe? Why is he building all these houses if the trebs are on the right side? Let's see how this shapes up. I mean, Mayan siege is comparable to what's on the field here, no? They're missing siege onagers, I think. But they still do have onagers. Oh my god. Oh, what do you do? What do you do against a player who does attack rounds like that? So 61 kills has become 74. Yikes. I do want to see this again, because I love a good pancake as much as anyone else. What a fun game. What an incredibly backwards game of counters and mind games and unit placements. What a quintessentially super fun, super basic Age of Empires game, isn't it? Wasn't this incredible? Just so much fun. We got to see about 20 different types of units. Oh, there it goes, the volley. Ah. Oh. Will there be another one? There's another one. Oh, goodness gracious. Great literal balls of fire. Let's fast forward. Let's see what ultimately the numbers are and the death count and all of that good stuff. Wow. What a clean, good old-fashioned game of Age of Empires. Ultimately, though, our Cuman just proves too powerful and undislodgeable. Is that a word? an immovable, what is the an unstoppable object meets an immovable, no, an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Talk about a movable object. My goodness, 8 onagers surrounded by no fewer than 37 fully upgraded hussars. Yikes. Let's take a look at the stats. 160 champions against 160 eagles. Eagles don't stand a chance. APM. Okay, peak APM about 3 minutes ago for our blue Mayan. Earlier on in the game for our Cuman. I can't imagine the economies are too different. No, about 10% difference in economy and relics. At the end of the day, take a look. Our Mayan, 1,100 gold more for those relics at the cost of 700 gold in monks. So if you subtract the 700 gold for those 7 monks that were sniped, he actually profited 2260. 400 more gold than the Cuman. I ask you, was it really worth it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Wood count, very similar. Food count, our Cuman with the Hussar transition at the end. 10,000 food ahead. Gold, also a bit of a difference. About, what is this? About 3,700. And then 1 extra castle's worth of stone converts. 6 converts, all from the earlier stages of the game. Oh, mama, 460 kills, 82 of which are villagers. 312 kills for our Mayan, half of the villager kills of our Cuman. And wow, like I said, just a good old-fashioned clean game of Age of Empires by both players. Our Cuman with that second town center earlier on, and the explosion onto the map with Light Cav and Scout Cav sniping all the monks of the Mayans so that the Mayan can really only get... By the way, did he teef a relic in the middle of all this? Where's the 3rd relic? Is there a monk somewhere here? Did he pull a Mr. Yo? Where are you? Okay, no, you're out in the middle of the map. Where's the 3rd relic? Or did Blue take it home to a different monastery? Oh, little things like this. Unless I'm missing something, right? This is just 2 relics. What happened to the 3rd? He has 0, which means there's no other monastery that has relics. Does he have a monk somewhere? I'm just going to highlight everything. He's got a monk. Where is it? Oh, look at this. Oh my god, it looks like the Treb fired onto this monk. Look at the ball. Looks like it's about to hit the monk. Boom. Oh, wow. But yeah, what just a fun game of Age of Empires, and endless back and forth. A little twist to the usual 3-stage meta. I want to see more Cumans on enclosed maps, and Mayans, not bad at all. I think maybe not using his 50% off stone. You know, I think a lot of Mayan players, or players that play Mayans, not Mayan like, you know, people from 1,000 years ago playing Age of Empires. Players who play the Mayans, I think, very underutilize that 50% stone feature. You can clog up a lot of works, especially if your opponent is going siege. It doesn't hurt to just waste some time building a few walls here, a few walls there. Just make it difficult for your opponent to engage into your units, because your units are not the strongest. Your best unit here attacks on a 9. Your Eagle Warrior, what, a 13? An 11 at the moment? A 13. Not exactly the strongest units in the game. And so clog up the works. Make it hard for your opponent to engage. Otherwise, a big open map like this, like I said, inures to the benefit of the Cumans, because they have the speed. Take a look at the ridiculous 1.74. I think, what, an Elite Shrevamsha is 1.76? 1.74 is ridiculous. But ultimately, beautiful game. Kipchaks led to Eagles, which led to Champions, which led to Plumed Archers, which led to Onagers, which led to nothing, which led to Hussars, which led to Halberdiers, which led to a massacre of 74 kills, 7 of which were friendly fire. So 67 rather, kills by these 8 Onagers means they paid for themselves and did a fantastic job. What an incredibly fun game. Blue, no more presence on the map. our Cuman has just completely steamrolled him. 11 stables at the end of the game, 65 villagers on food. And by the way, 120 villagers when you're going trash is the perfect quantity in my opinion. You don't want to go beyond 120, 130 if you're going trash, because, you know, the whole point of trash is to overwhelm and replenish and overwhelm and replenish. If you're sitting at, 150 villagers, it's going to be very hard to do that. That being said, you also don't want to be knocked down to 83. That being said, there should be another expression to that being said to say after that being said. That being said, our Mayan, who was down, remember, at 1.60 villagers to 40, did a pretty damn good job catching up and put up a quite staunch defense here, and ultimately was picked and poked to the northeast over here, to the southwest over here from this barracks, put up a castle here, put up a castle here. I don't know if he needed to do that. Had he taken those two castles and maybe put them in a more central position and spent a few more resources on Trebs, maybe he could have held on. Who knows? But that is all conjecture. That is all hypothetical. I don't have a crystal ball. What I do have is a 56-minute game in front of us, and it was just super fun. What is this? 772 kills in total in 56 minutes, and we got to see super duper cool unit, fully upgraded plumed, fully upgraded elite eagle with Eldorado, my favorite, 100 HP. I'm gonna fanboy out about that ad infinitum. And ultimately, though, it is our Cuman Barles who takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.